Hello everyone and welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. We are going to be working with the ink colors today and the Hippest Hippos. Celebration is still going on. Celebration goes through August 31st, 2022. So if you haven't got your hippos or something else you want out of the catalog, I suggest you get them before the sale ends. Here's the hippo stamp set and the dies. Lots of other things in this catalog. I wanted to also let you, there is another set of items that are free for celebration as well. And you will find those located on my online store. Those are also for $50 and $100 purchases. So if you take and spend $100, you can get something out of this catalog or the items that are online. So the sale goes through August 31st, so don't miss out. When this releases next week, you have about a week and a half, I'm guessing, until the 31st. So don't miss out. The project we're going to be making, everything will be listed below in the description bar, all the sizes, all the products I used. You'll also find, like I said, a link to my online store, my email address. I love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like to see how it's made, please let me know. And also, don't forget to subscribe and like. I am trying to grow this channel so we have the ability to do more things. So, with that being said, let's move on to the project. We are, like I said, we're going to be using the hippos. But I want to show you a few other things we're going to be using besides the hippos. The paper that we're using is the in color paper. I did mark the page. Right here, it's on page 135. And the in color designer paper comes in both the 2021 and 2022 in colors. So they're good for 2 years. And then they also come in the brights, the neutrals, the regals, and the subtles. And these are all 6x6 paper. Now we'll go over those sizes and just colors and stuff in just a minute. The other set we're going to be using is called Beautiful Shapes. And this is what they look like. And we're going to be using this little guy here and this one, which leaves a really cool design around what we use it on. So we'll pull those out right now. So those are the main supplies we're using. Now you're saying, what are we going to be making? And I'll show you that in a minute, but this paper, I'll show you on the blue here. Get this close. This is a stripe, pinstripe, and a plaid. And then when you flip them over, you have flowers and polka dots, and it's on every single one of the colors: Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, and Tahitian Tides. So this is beautiful paper, and it's nice to work with too. So we'll set this aside if I can pick it up and show you what we're going to be making today. If you watched my video, I think 2 days ago, you would have seen a video of a book fold card, and I said that I was going to make several other types of book fold cards, and this is one of them. And I've used the Orchid Oasis on this one with the little hippo, and when you open up this card, it explodes into what's called an explosion card, and we have the little hippos inside. Now you can write on the back. You could put a piece of white paper here and write on. You could leave off this hippo and put another piece of white paper to write on here. Lots of different options. Myself, I think I'd write on the back, but I haven't made that decision yet. Makes a great birthday card. Or just because. So this is the card we're going to make. And on the front, we're going to stamp it, "You're So Hip." But we're not going to be making it out of Orchid Oasis this time. We are going to make it out of Parakeet Party. So let me get all the pieces out. And if you're wondering, this is just one of the containers the dies come in. I save these and I use them to put my projects in, so I keep all my pieces together. So we have a piece of the designer paper with the polka dots and the plaids. We of course have an envelope. I have already taken and stamped, colored with blends, and die cut the hippos. just to help save us some time on the video. I'm sure you've all seen how the hippos have been colored. And I will put all the colors I used for the hippos in the description. But just to save time, I've already done them up. So we'll set them off to the side. Then we have another piece. This is the stripe and the flowers. And then we have another piece that is the stripes and the flowers, which is just the other piece of this, like that. So let's do some scoring first, and then we will do some stamping. We need to score this. Let me try to get this over here so you can see it. And we are going to score this at, excuse me, 4 1/4 and 5 1/2, just like that. Now we do have some scoring to do on the 6x6 piece of DSP. First, you need to determine if you want the polka dots or the plaids. I want the plaids out, so I'm going to use that way. And you're going to score it at 3 inches. Flip it around and score it at 3 inches. Now, I've had some people ask me what this line is, this dark red line. It's a Sharpie marker. And people have asked me why I have a line through my scoreboard. And I'm going to show you now, because we need to score this diagonally, one direction. If you take and line this up and put that tip right in the groove and line the tip up on this groove, you can see exactly where you're going. Insert your thing in and score right down to it. That's why the line is there. And I put it at 6 because that means I could do the largest pieces possible. But that is for doing diagonal lines. It just makes my life a little easier. And that's why I've put that there. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll grab our bone folder. And we're going to fold this in. And we're going to fold this one this way. Give it a good burnish. We're going to go ahead and fold this. So you're going to be doing a lot of folding on this. So you're going to first fold over your corners and still make sure your corners are flush. And go that way. And you're going to fold it again. You can do this with cardstock. It's much thicker for postage, so I find this more cost effective, and it's easier to fold. Even though I put the crease in there, I'm still making sure that my corners line up perfect. So now you have a piece. It's hard to see them there. But if I take, and I'm going to bend it back, and I'm going to, that diagonal line, I'm going to fold it the other way now. So now you have a piece that looks like this, and it's all folded. So if I pop that in, those diagonals will fold in this direction. The polka dots is what I want on the outside. So I'm going to fold it like this. And this is what will go in the card and open up, like this. So we'll set that aside for a few minutes, and we'll get some stamping done. And believe it or not, I forgot to grab some white paper. That wasn't very smart, was it? Just one moment. I forgot to grab some white paper. Sorry about the squeaky chair. So we are going to stamp 3 different sayings. One's going on the envelope, and we're going to use Parakeet Party. First, we're going to do the envelope. You're so hip. Just right down in the corner, like that. And I'm going to set those aside. I didn't bring my cleaning mat in here, so I will clean those in a few minutes and be very careful. Then we're going to do You're Always on Point. And we're going to put this up a little bit because we're going to cut that out with a die. And then this one, Love You a Ton, we'll put over here. Make sure I have enough room to do both of them, like that. And get the dies. I'm gonna have to cut this down a little bit. A little too wide to go through little cranky there. And this is the mini cut and emboss machine, aka Little Cranky, because that's what I call mine. It gets cranky just like I do. We're gonna use plate 1. I'm gonna talk about the plates for a second. This one, if it's hard to see in here, but you can see it's starting to get a little warped. I do most like my cutting on one plate, and I save the other one and don't do much cutting on it, and that's my top plate. But they do get wore, and you do need to replace your plates occasionally, and you need to constantly flip them around different directions when you're using. So this is getting warped this way, so I'm going to put it in this way, so the warp side goes the opposite direction. And this, you do need to replace them. The plates are not that expensive to replace them. I would recommend you have at least one extra set, because at some point they will get wore out, and they will break eventually. It takes a lot of use before they break, but they can break. But I've had this one ever since this machine came out, and this is the only plate I've cut on. So, but I wanted to mention that they are there. They're pretty inexpensive. I believe I didn't mark the page, but I want to say they're like $7 a set. Hang on. Yeah, mini cut set of 2 plates is $7. It's on page 157. So they're fairly inexpensive to replace, but I really love the little mini. I would say that I cut probably 90% of the stuff I cut is probably on this machine, not on the large one. So it's worth the investment. So just a little plug for the Little Cranky here. You can name yours whatever you'd like, but that's what I've named mine. And so we're going to die cut. We've got plate 1, plate 2. I'm going to use a couple Post-its here, and we're going to put the little round, it's not even a circle, but it's not a square. Not sure what you're going to call it. It's not an oval either. So we're going to tape that down so it doesn't move onto my thing. And this is a little hexagon here. Center that. Oh, well, we're only going to cut one for just a moment. I'm going to show you why. I just noticed something and I won't be happy with it. So we're going to go ahead and cut that one since we already have it loaded. Try to hold this up as close as I can, see if you can see the texturing and what there you go. The design it leaves in there. It's different, but I like it. So the reason we are not keeping this one, can you see what happened with the S? I jumped when I was stamping and did not realize that. So we are going to turn around and I'm going to restamp it on the other side. That's what 2 pages of paper are for. Much better. If you don't like it, turn the paper over and do it again. I think it's important to be happy with what you just did, because if you're not happy, you're going to worry about it and you're not going to like it. And we all need to be happy about our work we do. So, and it just takes a minute to fix it. And luckily we found it before we stuck it on the card. Here we go. Take that off. And the other thing I love about this, it's so lightweight. I can take it with me. I can take it to my friend's house when I go over and stamp with them. And it's just really light. There we go. Throw this in my bowl. Here's the little clank. I have a magnetic bowl, you know, workers use when they're bolts and nuts and stuff. So I keep mine in there. So let's grab this. If you excuse me one moment. Throat's gotten a little scratchy. a little T. So I'm using the stripes, and I want to make sure my stripes are going up and down. And this does have a 1/4 inch border around it, like that. And then I want the flowers on this one. And make sure those are going the right direction. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong, but the direction I think is right. Okay, and we're going to put a little bow on this. And the bow is going to go right here before we seal this up. So what I usually do for length, I go around. That's one, and then I go one more half around and a little extra to tell me how much ribbon I need to make a bow. And then we'll grab a glue dot, pokey tool here. And we're going to put this like right dead center in the middle of that. Then I'm going to take this and try to put it as close to center as I can. That looks pretty good. And just hook that down. It's my extra hand to hold my ribbon. Now we'll take and get this twisted around here. Sorry about the chimes, the wind is picking up. By the time you see this, we'll be in the middle of our 3rd heat wave of the summer. We're heading back for the hundreds once again. And I want a big floppy bow. You can make a nice little neat one if you want. You know, it's whatever you want. You could change the color of this. I mean, in my previous video, I did color this, but I thought the white bow looked rather nice on this. And glue, and just go right on the ribbon. Then it won't go anywhere. Don't get too close to the fold line because you don't want glue seeping out. And just close it up and close it tight. Just like that. And we'll open that up. And we'll put this piece in. Now what you want to do is the 2 flat sides with no fold. The folds are there. You want the folds to be facing this way and the end that hooks everything to be here. And what you want to do is I try to line this up on my grids just so I know it's straight. And you want to make sure, you see I'm sort of watching the little grids here. You want to make sure that you're inside. Sorry about my head here. You want to make sure you're inside. And then what you're going to do is lift this one up. And you're going to put glue on this side. Make sure not to turn anybody. Oop. Make sure you're inside because it just fits. Pull it just a hair away from this here. Just a hair. With the glue, it gives you that chance to maneuver it. If you use tape, you're sort of in one position, so your call though. Now we're putting glue on the other side and close it. It's very technical. So when it opens, it pop opens like that. So let's decorate the inside and then we'll decorate the outside. What did I do with the, what did I do? So she is the point, she's going here. We'll put her on the front. And we will put him, I think, here looking back this way. And this one looking this way. Now I'm not going to use dimensionals on the inside of this card because it's got enough bulk, and if you put more bulk it will be, I'm just going to go about there with that, and then put him just about here. If you put more bulk in there, then it costs you more money to send it. And we do have to be careful about that. I actually received a card back yesterday in the mail I had sent to my cousin. And there wasn't oversized, there was no bulk or anything, and I got it back because they said it didn't have enough postage. And the only thing is I had too much bling on the outside of it. And so you need to watch it. Put a piece of, lightweight paper or something to help hold that bling so it doesn't punch out your envelopes and stuff. Because it's not fun when you get something back and their birthday's in 3 days. So if she's watching this, she'll know whose card it was that got returned. It's back out in the post now. So you close that, and you can see it does have a little bit of bulk in there. So that's why I said no dimensionals. And you could add more. You could use any stamp you said you want. I've done these with all kinds of different things, and I love doing this one. Now, this one, if you notice something, I cut this one different than the last one. Wasn't intentional, but I sort of like it. If you look at the first one I did it flat, and she's pirouetting on that. But this time, she's going to pirouette on the point, literally. So I'm going to use dimensionals on this. Well, I had an open pack. They disappeared. We'll use this one. So we'll put some dimensionals on that, and we'll put some dimensionals on her. I'll put an extra one there. And I want to try to line this up. So this is 4 inches. So let's put it at 4 inches. Yeah, right on that line right there. Should be right in the middle. And then we're going to pirouette her. We're just going to be right. Oop. I want her toe just to touch. Like that. So she's really on the point now. Now I didn't put any bling on this. It had a bow. And I didn't think it needed it. But if you want bling, put bling. Hippos and bling just don't always go together for me. More dimensionals, backs. So, it's whatever you choose to do, but have some fun. I looked at these colors and I thought, putting the hippos with these colors, not sure. But once I started, it's like, hey, they're sort of fun. So try it, have some fun. Like I said, all the descriptions, dimensions, all the products I used are below. Please go to my online store to check out the items that are also available for celebration. If you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. If you have any questions about Stampin' Up!, my email address is there. Also, please remember to subscribe and like to help me out in YouTube world. So, with that being said, have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.